You're listening to Up All Night, Poppin' Bottles with Kat
and Brooke.
All right, hi. Welcome to Up All Night, Poppin' Bottles. This is Kat.
And this is Brooke.
And today we are talking about the fourth trimester.
So Kat actually just had to explain to me what that was right before we hit record because I'm not hip on the new lingo. Or that may have been around forever. I don't know. But so Kat, for those who don't know what that means, tell us what that means.
Okay, so the fourth trimester is colloquially known as basically the 3 or 4 months after you have the baby, the antepartum period, where your hormones they're all fucked up and like crazy, and you don't feel quite yourself, and you're still adjusting to life with a tiny human in your life, and your body is just really still feeling the consequences of pregnancy.
Once you explained to me what that was and what colloquial meant and what antepartum and no, but once we started talking about that, I think maybe last episode, a couple episodes ago, we talked about postpartum depression, and I think I said the famous last words, oh, that hadn't happened to me this go round. Well, one thing that kind of hit me like a ton of bricks is that part of postpartum depression is it's not always can't get out of bed, I cry constantly, I'm just inherently sad. A lot of it can come out in anger. And so I was just like hulking out on stuff that was just ridiculous. And so I would just be irrationally angry, and then I would feel guilty about it, and then I would cry about it. And then I truly felt like I was losing my mind. And I told Scott, I said, I feel like I'm going crazy. And he was very kind and said, Brooke, you've always been crazy since I met you. It's like, no need to worry. And I was like, what? True, but I haven't been this crazy. And so, but I really did. My anger was just out of control. And I was like, this is not me. But I kept chalking it up to hormones. Oh, it's just hormones.
And it is.
Right. But it was like, oh, this will die down. It's just, I said, I can't keep living like this. My family is going to, send me away.
How many months is Whit now?
He'll be 5 on the 12th. So months? Tomorrow, 5 months. So he's 5 months. And so I thought, oh, well, this should be gone by now. So I went to my OB and I said, you got to help me. I'm literally losing
I'm gonna murder
marbles.
Somebody.
Yeah, basically. And so she upped my antidepressant I was on, and knock on wood, so far I've been more stable. However, I'm supposed to start my period next week, so that will be the real test. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned, listeners.
Watch the internet for husband stabs, our wife stabs husband with kitchen knife.
No, I can relate to that, man. Like so I'm about 1 month behind you. So Frankie is 4 months today, right? And so I totally just over dumb things like the dishes aren't clean out of the sink. You know what I mean? Like your stuff left in the sink, or like you didn't put the salt shaker back in the cabinet.
Right.
Like just dumb shit. Like really wanted to show people, and realizing that no, this is really a minor kind of issue in the grand scheme of things, but I'm really fucking pissed about it.
Right.
But I feel like some of that subsided a little bit for me anyway. I don't feel like murdering my husband.
That's good. Well, you know how we talked about we talked about our spouses needing to they need their time to decompress and all of those things. And so the other day, Scott, we're laying in bed and Scott says, I'm going to schedule myself a massage. So I'm waiting for him to say, would you like a massage? Did not happen. So I'm like, oh, really? You're not going to ask if I want one? Well, you got to work today. You can't get one today. I was like, right. Well, and we don't even have to get it together. Just, you didn't think to hit an extra button that says schedule.
Or just don't say that part out loud, Scott.
Just don't say it. Just so, although, he's just a very concrete thinker. He's like, well, I mean, if you want a massage, then get you one too, right? So I'm like, no, you don't even ever think of me. You're so not thoughtful. I'm the one who needs a massage. Me. I'm the only one with problems and stressors, but just meltdown. Like you even love me? Like, so dramatic. Like, looking back, and I keep actually
and we're very close.
Do I have your consent? But yeah, I mean, looking back, I'm like, that was a little much. It was like, at the time, I could not help it.
Yeah.
But he did bring home a massage gift card, so
because he's a smart fella.
He knew better. Yeah, he's not dumb.
Yeah,
it's just.
And I've noticed, like, obviously, the more sleep I get, the more
the less the salt shaker
keeled the temper is. Yeah. So other things with the fourth trimester, totally, like I said, your hormones are still out of whack, and like rationally, I know that, but I also feel like I should be more whatever. Like I dropped like 5 pounds after having the kid. I dropped the kid weight, literally, and like I've stuck there, and that's bothering me. Yes. But I also know that, like, logically, that like my cortisol levels are still high because I'm not sleeping, and I'm stressed out all the time because I'm not sleeping, and so like I know that, but it still bothers me.
Oh yeah, literally every week I feel like I'm stuck in a vicious cycle. I get to like Wednesday and I'm like, heck yeah, I've lost 3 pounds. Then we end up at the next Wednesday and it's like having to lose that same 3 pounds that I just lost.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it's totally fine. And like, I love my body at all sizes, because it can do amazing things, but still, it's kind of like
it'd be nice to fit in your clothes.
It'd be nice to just fit in the clothes I have.
Yeah. I wear the same 5 outfits to wear.
I'm still wearing maternity leggings.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. I have some black work pants that still have the belly thing.
Oh yes.
I just roll it now.
Absolutely.
So,
does your hair fall out? Like,
oh my God.
Is it still falling out? Yes, mine.
So I'm glad you said that. I went, look.
Right, I don't want to do it.
I went to get my hair done actually a few weeks ago, and my hairdresser said, why's your hair thinning? I was like, excuse me?
It's not thinning. Bitch, I was pregnant.
I was like, thinning.
Supposed to.
Like, am I bald? She's like, no, you're not bald, but it's noticeable. Well, I'm like, oh, not.
She just had a baby, though, right?
So now I have a complex. But she and I are very, very close. So she will. She has no filter, and I have no filter with her. But she scared me because I'm like, oh my God, do I have bald patches in my hair? Like, what's happening? But she was just like, no, it's just noticeable. And I was like, yeah, it's all those, no more luscious.
So it's not that your hair grows lusciously while you're pregnant. It's that it stops falling out. Right? Yeah. And so then it has to catch up. And so now, like, I already have a lot of hair, and I already shed a lot anyway, and there's fucking hair everywhere in my house, and it drives me nuts, right? Now, like, so when I wash my hair, I put my hair on the shower wall. So
you can compare?
Well, not even that, but so does that. But
so
now,
you can get a little collection.
But, like, it is like, I mean, it's
oh, yeah.
Disgusting. It's a whole wall.
Yeah. A small Pomeranian in the shower.
My hair on the shower wall.
Well, so I've read conflicting things, and I wish I knew the answer, but I've read that, you always hear, take your prenatal vitamins, it's great for your hair, makes your hair grow, and then you hear, well, no, it's exactly what you just said.
I'm sure it grows, and like prenatals help, but it's definitely...
Do I need to get back on those?
It might not hurt for a little while, because like we said, your hormones are still all like weeble wobbly, and so like they're high and they're low, and so I'm sure you've got new hairs that's growing, that's filling in the loss that is happening. You know what I mean? And it'll take a while for that. Sure.
Sure.
Take all the vitamins.
All the things.
So anything else that you've kind of noticed about the fourth trimester? Like, there's this whole, so we talked about like the redefining of the self and like just accepting this is a different phase for a while, a different chapter for a while. That's hard for me. Like, it's really hard, the mental aspect of becoming a parent for the second time, not even just for the first time. I mean, that's a whole transition in itself. Right. And so, if you are a first-time parent, that is a whole total, like, thing. And the fourth trimester is just staying in 3 months. It's going to go pretty much for, like, the first year.
Yeah, and just accept you're not going to know who you are.
Yeah, but even still, as a second-time mom, like, it is, again, another redefining of the self and, like, having to come to terms with my body right now cannot do the things I think it ought to do.
Right. Acceptance, I think, it's acceptance and being realistic is key.
Well, I'm totally unrealistic.
Oh, me too. Me too. Please don't take that as like my expertise giving you advice for sure. I need it too. One thing that's really too kind of gotten me. I've never had to experience this until now. So I lost my mom in 2021, and she was one of those moms where I could call at 6 a.m. and say, hey, the baby's sick. I got to go to work. And she'd say, bring the baby over. She would take my kids' doctor's appointments, dentist appointments. I really never had to miss work because of that. Scott's parents live out of town. And so not having that support system, and my dad, he's helpful. I mean, as much as a dad can be helpful with small kids, you know, he'll take till I need to tennis and stuff like that. But so not having that support system has been really hard. The baby has been sick several times from those daycare germs. And, you know, I get back from 4 months of maternity leave, and it's like 3 days after I get back, I have to be out with the sick baby. And it's like, you deal with that mom guilt about, you know, oh, am I the person that they're like, oh, she's out with her kid again? And,
you know, it's never ending though.
Right.
It's never ending.
But that's something I'm having to really struggle with. And now you have that, and then, you know, Price and Delaney's activities, and really just trying to manage that, because it's like I got to find somebody now to watch with, because I can't take him to the rainy football game, and that's been hard on me.
I agree 100%. Like, because it's not a doubling with the second kid, or for you another 100%. It's exponential growth of difficulty and challenge.
Yeah.
It really is just a lot. So, like, speaking of childcare, you know, I'm super fortunate to have my mother-in-law watch the baby and watch my kid and stuff after school. But, like, she was gone last week. They went to go visit family. And, like, it is impossible to be a full-time mommy and a full-time
something loses. Worker. Yeah, you can't give 100% to all.
To anything. It's so hard. And, like, you know, I believe in normalizing, you know, bringing your kids to stuff as long as they're, you know, not causing a ruckus. But, like, still, like, I had to bring my baby to, like, meetings and luncheons and stuff that I, you know, honestly, I'd rather not have. But, like, it's just so hard to not have support. And, you know, this is totally like first world problems, because like we both are relatively fortunate, you know what I mean, especially in terms of childcare. But like, it's hard, man. It's fucking hard.
That's true. And then ever since Whit started daycare back in September, he has had this stuffy nose every day. I mean, I've gone to the doctor 3 times. He had bronchitis. We had to give him breathing treatments last week. But it's like, you know, and then you worry, you know, is this just daycare germs? Is there some underlying, you know, the whole doomsday thinking comes in. Is there some underlying something? I've taken him to the doctor 3 times, and they basically just say, And I'm like, thank you. Here's a copay.
Right.
And so it's just another, you know, in the daycare work, I'll be like, he's running, you know, like a 99.
Oh, yeah. So while mother-in-law was gone, like, baby's, like, freaking out, like, pooping his pants all day. Big kid calls from school and has to, like, come home because he's got a slight fever and an earache. And, like, I've got to teach class at the gym. And, like, I've got clients.
It's all at one time.
And it's all at the same time. And I totally freaked out and, like, had a breakdown. And this too shall pass, right? And it did.
Like, Scott is very supportive. If he doesn't have a meeting or something, I mean, 100%, he'll, you know, come home and trade out with me or whatever. But at the same time, you know, being a small business owner, and you know this, you don't
have as much flexibility as you think you should.
Exactly. And so, you know, you cancel a meeting, and that could be a big deal. And, you know, I have people to cover for me at work if I had to miss a meeting or whatever. And so.
All right. Well, anything else? Any other thoughts on the 4th trimester?
Gotta get better, right?
It's gotta get better, right?
It gets better, I think. I've heard 6 months, like,
you're almost there. You let me know.
I'll, you know, if not, I'll just, I'll just keep popping the Alexa Pro.
That's right.
Go higher and higher.
We'll just buy more wine.
Yeah, fine. Or, that's probably cheaper.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Any
insurance doesn't pay for wine.
No, but, you know, it depends on if you get good wine.
That's true.
Any mom fails you want to share?
Yeah. Last night I had a good one. So I started feeding Whit rice cereal, and I wanted to, you know, kill 2 birds with 1 stone by putting it in his bottle. So I cut a little slit in the nibble. I realized it flowed too freely. So anyway, rather than throw it away, I gotta just put it back on the counter or put it in the sterilizer, not thinking. Long story short, I'm making bottles. 2 a.m. I get up to feed him, and I'm like, basically drowning him because I didn't realize I was feeding him with that nipple. And so he's screaming, and it's 2:30 in the morning, and I'm like, why won't he eat? It was very frustrating. Then I realized, I literally tried to waterboard
my baby.
So that was fun.
Oh, so the flip side of that, I guess, I had to take my baby to a luncheon, and I had a bottle for him. And I'm because I've done it enough times now, like I'm super careful with these bottles, like to check the lids.
Right.
Because I have to bring the puppy back with me, right?
Yeah.
Well, I get there and I pull it out to feed, and I realize that, it spilled something. I was like, fuck, I checked the lid and still. And then I go to feed him, and then I realize he's emptied it like in 2 seconds. And I was like, it's not that he's emptied it.
You had emptied it
all over him. Oh, I was so mad because it's like a whole bottle. And so it's like, for me, that's like a half day's worth of work. Like,
right, yeah.
Oh my God.
Nothing worse. Yeah. People say don't cry over spilled milk.
Oh, so many
Clearly
tears.
haven't breastfed. But real quick, before we go, so speaking of like mom, what am I trying to say? Like, never underestimate, we were talking about, support system, never underestimate like other moms and the value of them. We went to dinner the other night, and I thought Scott had the bottle. He thought I had the bottle. None of us had the bottle. So we get to dinner, and I see Blair Willis.
Yeah.
So shout out to Blair Willis, because I joked, Mom, Mom of the Year, forgot the bottle. She's got this big thing of formula with her. And she's like, well, if you need it, we can fill up this bottle. And I was like, that's the way to do it right there. So never underestimate fellow moms and their support.
At that luncheon, all the moms swooped in and just passed my baby around. I was like, yes, you can hold my baby.
Yeah.
Yes, you can hold my baby.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Well, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Up All Night Poppin' Bottles with Brooke and Kat, produced by Ricky Z Social Media.